address those attitudes and belief systems that I had grown up with in a very uptight, Republican, formal household. I had to learn about equality and justice, and I had to teach that to others. Because if one single solitary person is denied justice in this country, then we can all be denied justice. And if we remain silent while others are denied justice, then we deny them justice also. So, the gay community, following on the heels of the Civil Rights Movement, following on the heels of the women's movement, following on the heels of the Mexican-American movements on campuses across this country, and the anti-war movement, learned how to begin the process of developing civil rights for ourselves. This was a journey that I was proud to be a part of, and privileged, truly privileged, to be involved in. And one that I can't imagine ever stop doing. When I told Jeannie I was retiring from BAMEC this year, she laughed. Because she knows, and I know, yeah, I'm retiring from BAMEC, but there's always a good fight out there someplace. I have other things I need to figure out what to do, but I will never ever be very far from all of you who have been my brothers and sisters for a very long time. I think back on people who are a part of our organization, people who have gone from us now. Rick Rudy, Doug DeYoung, died too young from the crisis of AIDS. I think back on people like Elizabeth Birch, who went on to become the executive director of the HRC, who stood in this room and said things when she was a member of the BAMEC board. I think about people like Paul Wysocki and Rich Gordon, who have been a part of our movement for a long time. People like Leslie Hamilton. People like our present board people who stood up here. People like Dot James, who most of you will not remember, helped us form BAMEC. Sat in my living room up on the hill trying to figure out. The hardest thing was the color, the logo, and the name. People like Claire Shields and her partner Margaret. People like Judy Rickard, who filled 6 tables tonight. These are the true heroes of BAMEC. These are the people that have created a world for all of you to live in and to go forward in. But it was not too long ago that some drunk people dragged a black man through the streets of Texas, killing him. Or that somebody walked up to a Sikh cab driver in the Bay Area and shot him in the head. It was not too long ago that some men left a young boy hanging on a barbed wire fence on a cold Wyoming night. And it was not too long ago, and perhaps too close to home, where some men, because of their own fears and their doubts about themselves, kicked and bludgeoned a young transgendered person to death. These stories are painful for us to remember. They are hard for us to think about, but we have to think about them. because we have to create a world that has a sense of reverence and love and regard for each other.
That's right, Dixie.
It is that world that I will continue to fight for, because it is essential. We cannot continue to kill people because of their differences. And as much as I have huge and profound difficulties with George Bush, and know in our very hearts that he really does need to go home to Texas. I work hard, and believe me, it is hard to not demonize him, because it is so much easier to do that. But we have to go out on the streets and we have to vote. I can't tell you how difficult it is for Ken and myself to hear people say, oh, I don't vote. I don't bother with that kind of stuff. Well, let me tell you why it is not right not to do that. Not for us in this room, because many of us are like me, older. I've had my life. I am truly at the sunset of my life professionally. But for the young folks sitting at this table from Stanford, for the high school kids struggling every single solitary day to get through the corridors of their schools without being spat upon and called names, for the young kindergartners and elementary schools who will come behind them. They need a world of safety, they need a world of respect, and they need a world of regard.